Everyone, welcome back to another beautiful session with me. I'm Sanyukta Saxena, and today we'll be drawing another beautiful tile, a Zendala tile. First, I'm going to be starting with a string. So, I'm going to start with a simple wavy string, something like this, and then I'm going to create some more auras. So, the lines are kind of meeting at the ends. It's a nice leaf shape. I started with a curved line and then I'm adding more. Like this. Yes, so this is almost covering half of my tile. So if you want, you can give more curve. So it's entirely up to you. So I'm going to start with the thicker nib like an 08 and pen down my string. I want it to show, and I'm going to be adding different tangles inside it. So it is a good idea to ink it. I'm using a thicker nib and inking my string. Give a nice curve. The pencil lines are just for reference, so you can always go ahead and deviate. There is no problem at all. And then finally, if you wish, you can add one more like this and go around the border, the edges of the tile, and ink it. Yes, so it's covering almost half of our tile. Now let's add different kinds of patterns or tangles inside it. So I'm going to be starting with a simple tangle like wood. This tangle is called wood. So I'm drawing a zigzag curvy line. I've switched my pen to O1. And once you're done that, you just have to add further auras inside. Try keeping the auras close so that your tangle looks intricate. If you want, you can add something else like a betweed on the other side. It's entirely your choice. Yes, so that would be a tangleation. I'm going to be adding the same auras on both sides, keeping the tangle as is. Don't bother if the lines are shaky, not an issue. Certain things will come with practice. And over a period of time, your hand kind of stabilizes. Your lines are more firm. Even if they are not, it's okay. That's the fun part of Zentangle. Everything looks nice and beautiful. Yes, so rotate and do it on the other side. As I mentioned, you can always add something else on the other side, or you can add thicker auras and ink a particular aura. Whole lot of things that you can create with the same basic tangle. Yeah. And I'm done with the first tangle. Next, choose any tangle of your choice. So as I mentioned, I'm going to go with Betweed here. So I'm going to draw lines at an angle and add a slight weight as I end the line. Like this. Yeah, I hope it is. Yeah. So slowly take your time. Lines coming from both sides at almost 90 degrees. That's how you will have to draw it if you're drawing between two parallel lines or almost parallel lines. Else in between, generally the lines would start from the same place. So slowly take your time. Lines with some weight. Yeah. So go on like this. Draw at your own pace. I'm almost finishing drawing the tangle. Coming to the next, so I'm going to go with the tangle called Noom or Noomrepus. Series of S shapes. Going with whatever spaces I have, reducing and increasing the size. Another S shape. Yes, and then a slight weight. On both ends of the second S that we added, basically making a small triangle and connecting it to the main S shape. Like this. Yes. The next step is to connect. Connecting from here to the upper part of the S. Like this. Similarly, start from here and connect here. And that's it. Now there are small tiny spaces left. You can ink it. Just make a small triangle there and ink it. Else you can just add further auras. Some bit of inking is always a good idea. Just in case you are new to this tangle, You can find my older videos wherein I have taught how to draw this tangle. The video quality may not be that good, but yes, you can always learn how to draw the tangle there. Now the fourth one, probably we will go with the tangle Shattuck. Yeah, so let's start with Shattuck from one end. So I'm going to draw lines. So I've drawn 4, and then I'm going to change angles. You can keep the number of lines constant, or you can change it. That's not an issue. So you have to basically reach the other end. So as many lines as it requires. Since the width is increasing, so it has now gone up to 7 lines. Curved lines. Yes. So lines are almost at 90-degree angles. So you can always start like this and then come back. It's entirely your choice. How do you want to do it? So that was top down, or you can start like this. Inking the innermost space. Again, you can come top down. These are very basic tangles, very commonly used Zentangle patterns. So I'm done drawing my Shattuck. There's a small tiny space left here, which I'm going to just fill up with some orbs. Like this. Right, now the rest of the tile, let us add Hollibaugh. Yes, so I'm going to first add a very close aura. Now I'm going to add Hollibaugh lines. So I'm again switching to a little thicker nib and draw random lines. Now there are a whole lot of ways in which you can draw Hollibaugh also. Yes, so I'm just going to draw random lines. You can add set of 3 lines also. Somewhere here I'm going to place a tangle called spoken. Yes, somewhere stuck in between the Hollibaugh. So let's see. I'm going to start drawing the tangle. Instead of simple spokes, I'm going to add muka at the end, like this. Yes, again take a cue from the circle or the orb, come back, again come back. So first I'm going all in clockwise, taking a cue from the circle that I've drawn. Probably we can keep placing our Hollibaugh lines also. Yes, these are thicker lines. Again, since we are going clockwise, So you have to be little conscious, little aware of how you're doing it. Yes. Let's add one more first. Basically trying to give a drawing behind effect. Again, the Hollibaugh line. Take your time. This can be a little tricky. Yes. Now I'm going to add anti-clockwise. So I'm going to go against and add some more mochas. Go as far as you can. Slowly take your time. Again, taking a cue from going anti-clockwise. Take your time. Again, going anti-clockwise. Keep rotating. Again, I'm going pretty slow. Don't haste up. We are drawing behind. So be a little aware, conscious of how you are going about doing it. So again, I'm going to add here. Draw as many as you can. Now I'm going to randomly add clockwise or anti-clockwise depending on wherever I find space. So here there is some extra space, so I'm going to come like this. Here there is some space, so I'm going to add one more. You can draw behind. I'm going to add some more here. Yes, I'm going to add some more Hollibaugh lines. Yes, so I'm going to add some more Hollibaugh. Wherever you wish to. Draw as many lines as you wish. You can add some more. It would be fun to insert from in between, although it can be a little complicated. But yes, it would be fun. Yes, so you can see I'm going pretty slow, finding spaces where I can insert more of these Hollibaugh straight lines. So let's start here. Small tiny spaces in between. Like this. Yes. So now comes the tricky part. You have to ink the in-between spaces in your Hollibaugh. That will add the much required drama to your tile. Yes, you can add some more lines, of course, if you want, but I'm going to start inking. Now you need to be careful while inking. So pick one section at a time. I'm first going to pick the smaller ones and quickly fill them up. For the smaller ones, I'm just using my O1. Gives more precision. So you could see I have gone pretty slow while drawing this part of my tile, and so should you. It can be a little confusing. Basically, I have drawn Hollibaugh and a spoken trapped inside. So you need to be a little slow if you want to draw behind. Yes. You can see at places the mukas are over my Hollibaugh, and at places they are going under. So that's the fun part when you do both the things at the same time. Else what you could do is just draw your Hollibaugh and then draw your spoken drawn behind. Drawing both the things simultaneously gives you that advantage of at places the spoken is over your Hollibaugh and at places it is going under. Yes, that's the fun part. So slowly take your time, no hurry. I like that bold black on my Hollibaugh. So I'm going to be inking all the empty spaces. Probably we can embellish it a little later, but right now I'm going to be inking all of the in between spaces. So I'm still inking and I have inked the outer sections. Now I am inking the innermost section, which is kind of quite cluttered, so you have to be a little wary of where to ink and where not. So taking tiny steps, going slow. While you are inking, if you want to add some more, you can always do that. If you think that certain spaces are very big and there you can insert one or two more spikes or spokes, you can. And just 3 more sections left. And that's it. I don't think we need to do, just check once if there are tiny small spaces left here and there which need to be inked. And that's it. So let us now get to shading. As far as these sections are concerned, I'm going to add shadow on both ends. Slowly add graphite along the string. You can also shade the tangle, but here I think it would be nice to highlight the string. Slowly take your time. Go to each section. Add the graphite at both ends. Time to blend. Make sure you leave the center white. You can blend both the sides at the same time. Yes. Again, blend, but make sure there is a white patch in between, which acts as your highlight. Adding a little more. And finally, the last one, Tangle Woods. So done with shading our beautiful petal string. Coming next to our Hollibaugh, the way we generally shade our Hollibaugh. Slowly go to each of the intersections. Add that touch of graphite. Blend only as much as is required. Make sure the whites are visible. I'm just shading the Hollibaugh right now. I'm not touching my spoken. We shall see if we want to shade our spoken later. Slowly take your time. Yeah. Now I'm going to add shadow at some of the places where my spoken is crossing the Hollibaugh. Not too much, little touches. Some of the places where it is over my Hollibaugh. I'm going to add some shadow here. From where the lines are emerging. I'm going to touch the heads a little. Maybe what is already there on your stub may be sufficient. Just a slight touch. Probably on the bigger ones. You may not touch all. Very tiny ones, just use your stub. What is already there may be sufficient. Yes, as far as the center is concerned, we can either keep it white or convert it into a caviar. Like this. Yeah. Now time for some Zen. If you wish, again, these are optional things. If you want, you can add some random dots to add that mystic kind of a feel. Yes. So use your GellyRoll. And maybe you can add some random dots in some of the sections. Let's close our tile here. Sign and date your tile always. Put in a comment if you wish to. I shall see you again with some more interesting sessions. Till then, have a good time. Bye-bye.